Right, okay, so we're going to go on to the second question here, which actually is question 5. I'm just going to save question 4, and we're going to start question 5. So let's just save that now as question 5 in my area here, question 5 solution. Okay, it says, write a flowchart to produce the square of a number without using multiplication. Well, so how can we do that? Well, let me just write something in here. I'm going to create a new section here called Scratchpad. Some random notes, basically. How do we find the square of a number when we can't use multiplication? Well, let's say we have the number 4, and we're going to square that. Well, this is obviously equal to 4 plus 4. Is it? No. It's 4 squared, which is 4 times 4, but we can't use multiplication. In other words, it's 4 lots of 4. So we're going to basically add 4 lots of 4 up together. It's the number of times we multiply it itself. So this is 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, which is, of course, 16. Okay, so in other words, if we want to find n squared, then this is n lots of n. So it's going to be n plus n plus n plus, and we're going to have plus n, and there are going to be n lots of these, n of these. So that's the basic principle of being able to do that. And we add up all this together, and obviously it becomes n squared. Right, okay, so we need a counter that's going to loop through the n lots of values, but we need to get that value of n first. So let's get some input, and to say something along the lines of, what number do you wish to square? And we're going to call that n. Okay, we can try and find n squared. Now we're going to have a loop that's going to go through each of these n's. Okay, so if we type 6, it's going to go through 6 times and add itself 6 times. So we're going to need a counter, and we're going to need a that goes through this loop. So we're going to set off our counter initially to be 1. So we're going to set our counter to be 1, and then we're going to exit when the counter is equal to n. So counter is equal to n, then we're going to exit this loop, and we will have had our total. So we need a totalizing variable again. So let's add an assignment here and set the total initially to 0. And each time we now need to calculate add up our total. Okay, so in here we're going to set our total inside the loop to be equal total plus the value of n. Okay, so we're adding up all these n's here so we're adding total to be total plus n. So add that, then add this n, then add this n, etc. And when we've finished, we'll come out and we'll print out the results. So we can say something along here. We can say square of, and then add our value, and our actual value is n, is space plus, and then our result. We'll call this, that's total, isn't it? Okay. But we need to make sure that this counter is incremented, otherwise it's going to go around forever and ever and ever, because counter will never equal n. So we need to add in our incrementing counter here. So we're going to set counter to counter plus 1. Let's try it out. Let's run it. What number do you want to square? Let's try 4. Square is 16. That worked. Let's go again. Let's try 8. 8 square of 8 is 64. Seems to work. And again, if you wanted to, you could go through and step through this one at a time. I'll add these as attachments, as Repto attachments, so that you can run them yourselves if you want to, if you're struggling with this at all. What number do you want to square? Let's say 2. It sets counter to 1, there it is, sets the total to 0, goes through the loop, sets the total to total plus n, so now the total is 2. Is the counter equal to n? No. Increase it by 1, counter is now 2, add up the total. Have we finished? Yes, we have. Write out the square. Okay, so that's how we can square a number without using multiplication.